Animal Crossing Pocket Camp Complete recently released, allowing players of the original game to send over their save data, or for you to start from scratch and enjoy Pocket Camp with 7 years worth of content. And plenty more to come as well. And although Pocket Camp is a simplified version of the usual Animal Crossing games that we get on consoles, there's still a lot to it. So for those of you who are starting up Pocket Camp Complete for the first time ever, or if you're someone who's already been playing the original game but you're getting used to some of the changes in the new app, I've decided to make a video sharing some tips and tricks that I wish I knew sooner that hopefully can help you. Leave a like on the video if you're ready for some tips and tricks, and let's jump straight into this. Unlike in the original Pocket Camp game, there are no microtransactions in this version. Instead, you have a new currency that replaces Leaf tickets called Leaf tokens. Leaf tokens are going to help you craft some of the coolest items in the game. They can be used to speed up wait times and various other things too. They're just generally an invaluable resource, and honestly, you can get a lot of them, a lot more than you could the Leaf tickets. Now, I found the absolute fastest way in the game to get these Leaf tokens is simply to level up. If you're a new player, then you shouldn't find this too difficult. The game gives you lots of methods to level up quickly. The method of doing this, of course, is getting friendship with your villagers. So by completing quests for them and bringing them over to your campsite, you'll slowly increase their friendship, which will increase your level. From what I can tell, each time you level up, you'll get 50 Leaf tokens, which is huge, meaning you can get so many of these throughout the course of the game, just naturally playing. If you're a little bit further into the game, however, a really good way of doing this is feeding your villagers treats. The main way I've seen to get treats is to play the Gulliver maps that you get and go on a quest with Blathers, which I'm going to elaborate more on in the next point. But basically, feeding a ton of these to your villagers, I do 5 gold at a time, is a really fantastic way of leveling them up super quickly, getting a ton of points towards your experience, and leveling up yourself really quickly. Again, it might take a little bit of time before you can get these kinds of resources, so this is kind of advice for late game players or people who transferred over their save data, but still, leveling up your villagers and then leveling up your character as a consequence is still a good point for even new players who want to get those Leaf tokens. So as I mentioned, the treats are the fastest way of leveling up your villagers, which in turn helps you level up and get cool stuff. So how do you get these? Well, I found the absolute best way of getting the treats is to get maps from Gulliver, specifically villager maps. By sending Gulliver out, giving him some resources and waiting for him to return, he can bring you back villager maps, and the game will show you if there's a chance of the certain island bringing you one back. Then when you do the little quest with Blathers to actually go through the map, you have a chance of getting these treats, bronze, silver and gold. Now, you're not going to get a ton of gold ones from these generally, but if you're doing a lot of different villager maps, which you'll have to throughout the course of the game, then these will definitely add up. However, a really important thing to note is that once you've actually completed a Gulliver Island and you've gotten every single possible reward from it, sometimes if it's a villager island, aka one that has villager maps on it, Gulliver should give you 20 gold treats at one time. Doing this and completing all of these different villager map islands gave me over 500 golden treats. So definitely a great way of stockpiling those, and they're definitely a fantastic resource to have. There are some other treats that are for specific personalities and such, which you can get too. They're good to have, but I personally do prefer getting the golden treats as they are just universal. Speaking of Gulliver maps, they are also the best way I've found to get complete tickets. If you didn't know, in Pocket Camp Complete, the complete tickets can be used as a form of currency to either unlock cookies, or you can use it to get items from previous events. With the cookies, it's a bit more random what you're going to get. Generally, that's how they work. With the actual item catalog from past events, you can specifically choose what you want. I really love using these, they're so addictive, but you do not get many of them. You don't get nearly as many of these as other things in the game, despite them having actually 2 functions. So it's definitely really important to be able to get as many as you can, and the Gulliver maps, especially the ones that have villages on them, tend to give these out. You will of course have to get lucky enough. Personally, what I've been doing is speeding it up by using my Leaf tokens, which I know some people might not like the idea of if you're trying to stockpile those, but I want the complete tickets more than I want the Leaf tokens, so that's something I've been doing, and maybe you could do it too if you want it. There are just so many good items to get in the complete catalog, and the complete cookie catalog, it's unbelievable honestly. I tend to focus on the cookie one because generally some of the items from previous past events are more likely to return as things you can craft than the cookies ever are, so I definitely recommend using the cookie one. Now, here's an invaluable way of using your leaf tokens in the game that you will definitely want to do as soon as possible. Crafting is of course a very important part of the game, so what you'll want to do is head to the crafting menu and click on Cyrus. From here, you can give him leaf tokens which will allow him to permanently speed up crafting for you. You definitely want to do this. Don't hoard those leaf tokens and not use them for anything, use them to upgrade Cyrus. Once you're done completely upgrading him, you can hoard them and save them for as long as you want, but get this done right away. This is absolutely essential. Crafting takes a long time, and you don't want to waste your time giving him leaf tokens to speed things up that you really need, so upgrade it permanently. This is a fantastic feature that I think a lot of people will honestly miss, so I have to stress this within the video, it's really important. Another way to get a whole bunch of leaf tokens at the start of each month is to actually convert bells into them. Now, you don't get as many through other methods like leveling up and such, but this is just a really simple way of getting them without much effort. Let's be honest, bells come by so easily in Pocket Camp. You can get a ton of these. The more you play through the game, the more you're going to get basically. You're going to have so many of these by the time you've made a lot of progress. So don't feel bad about spending 10,000 bells to get these leaf tokens. The leaf tokens are much more valuable than the bells ever are, so definitely convert as many times as you possibly can until the game doesn't let you. The event goals each month are also another great way of getting tokens. These follow the structure of the main events which happen, which tend to be the garden event at the start of the month, the fishing tournament in the middle, and then finally the gyrodite event, but there are other ways too. This time, particularly in December, just to give you an example, we've got to collect these little golden bell ornaments, and you get those just by doing tasks throughout the various events. If you follow all of the different tasks, you should get a lot of these, and this will allow you to get a ton of leaf tokens. As you can see from me scrolling through, there are so many to get amongst other cool rewards. So when events happen in the game, make sure you're playing as much as possible. That is advice I will always give. Don't skip out on certain quests just because you don't feel like it or whatever. I mean, well, it's up to you to be honest. I'm not going to tell you to play the event if you're not enjoying it, obviously. But if you do want to get everything and that is important to you, don't skip out on the events. You can skip out any other time of the year, but play the events. Speaking of which, the planner is your friend. This is a great way of keeping track of the events. The events are definitely the most fun you're going to have in Pocket Camp Complete in my opinion, and they're great for getting lots of different things. Special items that you can only get in the event, like for example there's some really cute Toy Day themed ones at the moment that are so great that you wouldn't want to miss out on. And then also things like the leaf tokens, so it's definitely worth using the planner to check exactly when the event's going to be going on. As far as I can tell, you can only check for the current month you are in. There might be another way of checking future events, but as far as I can tell, I haven't seen it. So I would definitely recommend checking the planner often, at least at the start of each month, so you can know what is going on. One of the new features within this game that was technically in the old one, but you had to pay for it, and now it's completely free, is the Camp Caretaker, and this is something you should get right away. I don't know exactly when this unlocks, it might be available from the start, it might not, but basically, whenever you see this option in the corner of your map to add a Camp Caretaker, like I've got with Bob, do it. Your Camp Caretaker is amazing. They will basically do tasks for you whilst you're not playing, gather you up resources, gather event materials for you, and just, it's so good. It honestly is. I had to pay for this for a time when the original Pocket Camp game was still available because it was just that good. I really didn't want to, but honestly, playing without this feels really strange, so I'm glad this is now a permanent feature in the game. It definitely makes playing a lot easier, especially if you don't have a ton of time to play all the time, so definitely worth activating as soon as you can. And you can get your villager to follow you around, which is super cute. I love that. Now, whilst online interactions might be gone from Pocket Camp Complete, something that I do really like about this new version is that you can actually get help to enter the quarry, a place where you can get certain resources each rotation, much easier. All you have to do now is actually go and talk to people in Whistle Pass. These are other players that you have scanned in through the camper cards section, or people you were previously friends with in the original Pocket Camp game, and by talking to them, they can either accept to help you or deny. Yes, they can actually deny, but it seems to be a lot rarer. Now, this isn't actually a real person, this is just kind of a character, you know, in the game, but it's based on a real person, and so if you get 3 of them to help you out, you're golden. You can head into the quarry, it'll take you there right away, and go smashing those rocks to get some resources. It's very, very easy to do. And I believe 1 per day can actually give you a present with some really cool stuff in it, including cookies and stickers of villagers, so definitely worth doing. Now finally, speaking of the camper cards, something you really should know is that when you scan in a camper card, or you make your own camper card, that is what their outfit will permanently be. The camper cards aren't based on an online system, as in they won't update if the other player updates them. So if you want to update your outfit for another player who has scanned you into their game, they're going to have to rescan that card. It won't just automatically update. So for example, if you want to scan my character in and have them in Whistle Pass, please go ahead and do so. I'm going to be sharing my code, but do keep in mind my character will have this kind of Christmas themed outfit. So I'm going to share another one maybe after the new year, where my character just has a permanent outfit that isn't really specifically based on any season or anything, just kind of looks for any time of the year. And I definitely recommend that when you're making your permanent camper card, you do the same, unless you're not really worried about that sort of thing. So those are some things I wish I knew sooner in Pocket Camp Complete. I really hope you're enjoying this new game. It's so much fun, honestly. I'm absolutely loving it. If you do decide to scan my camper card in, definitely send me a picture over on Instagram or something. I'd love to see my character and Bob in your game. That would be so much fun. Share some of your tips down in the comments section below. If you made it to the end, be sure to comment Bob's Gang so I know you did. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos.